Hi guys, I am Mark Larson, and on today's episode of the Frozen Woodworker, we are going to review this sander. The Frozen Woodworker is a production of Frostbite Furniture. Okay, we're back, and we're going to talk about the sander today. It's Central Machinery. It's just one of those cheapy Harbor Freight type sanders. We picked it up a while ago because we needed a sander in a hurry and didn't want to wait for anything to come in. One of the reasons we got it, probably the main reason besides we could just go to the store and go pick it up and it was right there, was the cost. This sander right now lists for $220. I don't think we paid that much for it. I can't remember exactly what we paid, but Harbor Freight always has coupons, always has everything on sale. We probably paid $180, maybe $200 for it. Whereas a comparable one, I looked at a Grizzly one, a similar size, and that's $425. And yeah, you're probably getting a better machine there, but that's more than twice the cost. Plus, I think it was like $80 in shipping to get that one from Grizzly, so that really adds up quite a bit compared to what we paid for this one. But it's a little cheaper machine, so it's not just less expensive, it is a cheaper machine. So let's kind of go through some of the details of it, and we'll see why it was less expensive, and then kind of see if it's worth the price that they're charging for it or not. First thing is we're going to talk about the disc on the side here. I haven't replaced the sandpaper on it yet. I didn't expect to use this disc as much as I have. But I haven't replaced it yet because it's a major pain to replace this disc. There's these screws, little bitty screws all over on here that you have to take out, and they're kind of a pain. Plus, on the table here, and we'll talk about the table in a sec, it has these little bitty set screws down below here that you have to take out to take the table out, or you can move the table over here, but you gotta get those little set screws out. And just the little bit that we've had it, those set screws are so packed full of sawdust that I can't get the Allen wrench in there anymore. So, yeah, that's kind of causing some problems, and it would be nice if it was a little more, if there was a little more space in there so you could clean it out there. Set screws are very small, so that kind of causes some problems. The other problem is this table, even when you have it up into position, wiggles quite a bit. I don't know if you can see it very well, but you probably have almost a 1/4 inch of movement back and forth here, which isn't a huge deal, but you know, any little wiggle gets to be a pretty big pain in the butt. So I'm not all that impressed with the disc side of this. It does spin, it does rip around pretty good, but there's a lot of movement involved. The second side is the belt side. This is actually what we bought the machine for, is for the belt side. Few things on that. It does move up and down, but the set screw on it doesn't seem to really keep it in place. So we always use it in the down position because that's what we needed it for mostly anyhow. There is a little guard that comes on it. It mounts on the back here. That way you can use it for kind of angling some stuff. I find that this falls off all the time, so I just run it without this. I'm sure there's a safety reason why you're supposed to have it, but it seems to be working pretty well, and it just seemed to cause more problems than it solved. And the other thing on this that I don't like on this, but I did notice when we were in the store not too long ago that they've changed, is the on and off switch on this machine is down here. And in order to use it, if you're using the machine, you typically stand on this side of the machine because you have the disc here. I tend to stand here, stand there. You have to reach over the machine, which isn't the safest way to use it. It looks like they've changed it and moved the switch here, and that's definitely a good thing because that is probably one of the biggest complaints I have about this. The last thing is that the sandpaper isn't too bad to change, but it's not that fast either. You loosen these two set screws, and they came with little adjuster pegs, but like all small things in the shop, they've been lost for a little while now. You loosen these two knobs and move that side right there, and you can slide the belt off, and you can slide the belt back on. And as always, unplug the machine before you start doing this. And you slide it back on, tighten these. And as you're tightening them, there's little holes inside of the thing here that's kind of what you need. I use a small screwdriver now. Like I said, it came with some little tightening, I don't know, little chunks of metal that sat in there nice. Little rods, I guess you could call them. And then once you get it partly tightened, then you can plug it back in. And make sure everything's out of the way. You gotta turn it on. And it seemed to be tracking pretty good. Sometimes it'll track off to one side or the other, and you just adjust that by tightening or loosening. I'm gonna tighten this one a little bit. Tightening or loosening one side or the other, and that will move the belt. Once it's centered, you can retighten these knobs. That way it'll just keep it from slipping. And there you have it. The dust collection on this, that's another thing. It doesn't really work well, but in very few of these sanders does the dust collection work well at all. So that's, it's kind of be expected. And in the assembly of it, was a little more complicated than I thought, but it really wasn't all that bad. It probably took me maybe 45 minutes or so to put the whole thing together. But other than that, it's a pretty decent sander, and like I mentioned, a lot of problems with it, but all in all, if what you're looking for is something that will sand a bunch of stuff off pretty quick, they'll do that. It'll take material off quicker even than you expect sometimes. So like any big sander, you got to kind of watch for that. You got to watch the safety things on it a little bit. It's a sander, so everybody kind of gets a little wishy-washy on safety on it, but hey, you can still get things caught in here. You can still jam your finger into it and rip chunks of skin off. Trust me, you can do that, and it hurts. But that's about all we have for today. So if you like this video, you want to see a little more of it, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page and check us out. You can sign up for our newsletter, and we'll catch you later. Thank you much. Bye.